what are prophecies in the Quran that you think are super specific and point to?
Sure. So the categories of prophecies in Islam are different. Many different categories. Some categories will be, for example, about, let's say, nations that Islam will spread in. Some prophecies will be about specific individuals. Some prophecies will be about developments that will happen. Some prophecies will be specifically about the geology of the earth and how it will change and stuff like that. I'll give you a few examples. So, for instance, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that you will see the deserts of Arabia returning to being meadows and rivers. Now, there's two things actually here being mentioned, not one. Prophet is making two claims. Claim number one, that it used to be meadows and rivers. And claim number two, that it will come back to being meadows and rivers. Now, we know for a fact that it used to be meadows and rivers. Why? Because if you Google right now, put nature Middle East, the greening of Saudi Arabia, it will show you an article that we find fossils of animals that can only live in abundant water. We're talking about like elephants and like hippos or whatever. All fossils of animals that can only live if there's abundance of water. And then they will show you traces of 10,000 Asian lakes that we saw with satellites. They will say around 5,000 years ago, this deserts of Arabia used to be meadows and rivers. So Prophet Muhammad didn't have a satellite to look at the, obviously, the 10,000 Asian lakes or to check the fossils of which animal they are or whatever. He didn't have access to any of these things, but he made that claim and it's accurate. Then you can go to NASA. They have an article. It's called The Greening of Saudi Arabia. And you can Google it right now. And it will show you pictures of Saudi Arabia. And it will show you yellow. And it's turning green from 1960 or 70 or whatever till today. It's completely turning green. How is this happening? It's happening, of course, but many factors. Some people tell you global warming, other factors. Technology, we're able to access the water deep within the earth. Technology, like they're actually carrying mountains of ice from the North Pole or whatever and bringing it to the deserts of Arabia. Things which were impossible to happen in the past, but they are happening today, which are all fulfilling this prophecy of Prophet Muhammad. For instance, like I said, nations that will become Muslim. Prophet Muhammad named where Islam will spread by definition. So Prophet Muhammad said that Islam will enter Egypt specifically. He said Iraq specifically. He said Sham, which is Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan. He said India and Pakistan. He said Constantinople specifically, which is Turkey, present-day Turkey. And he said that you will overcome the Roman and Persian Empire. Muslims will overcome the Roman and Persian Empire. And that's exactly what happened. He said that the Persian king in that region and the Roman king in that region, when they're defeated, they will be the last one. When they die, they will be the last one in that region. And that's what happened historically. He said there will be no more Caesar, basically, after that one, in that specific region when he's defeated. And about also Kurusu or whatever, however you pronounce his name, of the Persian king. They will be the last one. And this is what happened exactly historically. There are prophecies of Prophet Muhammad that we can see happening today. So Prophet Muhammad talked about the widespread of sexual immorality that will happen in the end of times. And then he said, when that happens, new diseases will emerge that didn't exist in the ancestors of the people. So now you can talk about monkeypox and all of these new STDs that didn't exist, that are new advent because of sexual immorality that we are engaging in and spreading. These are all fulfillment of the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad that he's saying. Now, there are many prophecies of Prophet made about specific individuals. So that there was an individual who's called Suraq ibn Malik, and he was essentially trying to kill the Prophet. He was a bounty hunter. And when the Prophet left Mecca to Medina, they sent him after the Prophet. And then when he was about to capture the Prophet, something happened and he couldn't. Basically, his horse kept sinking in the sand. A miraculous act. He realized there's something about this man, essentially. He's not just a normal human being. But then the Prophet made a prophecy about him specifically. He said that he will hold the bracelets of the Persian king. Now, some people cannot understand how magnificent this prophecy is, because it's like me talking to like some guy in the, Eskimos or whatever, and I'm telling him you will sit in the chair of Trump or something. The Persian king was the strongest man on earth at the time, right? And this is just a Bedouin bounty hunter in the deserts of Arabia. And the Prophet is telling him you will hold those bracelets in your hand. And that exactly happened the way the Prophet ﷺ foretold it. Now, that Suraqa ibn Malik, he became a Muslim. He fought with Muslims. Prophet ﷺ passed away. He didn't die. He could have died of diseases, could have died in any of the battle. He remained alive. The first caliphate of Islam, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, took the leadership, and he remained alive. He fought with the Muslims, nothing. In the second caliphate of Islam, Umar al-Khattab, his time came, and Muslims conquered Persia. And then the bracelets was given to him, and he wore the bracelets or held the bracelets in his hand, as the Prophet ﷺ foretold that he will. And this is specific, very specific prophecy about a very specific individual. There's so many things that can go wrong. Obviously, the most important is that we don't overcome the Persian Empire, which is the strongest empire anyways. But other examples, like I said, is in relation to the guy himself. He could die of disease, he could die in battle, he could die in many, many other ways. So like I said, the prophecies are many, and they talk about different things. But the common factor between all of them that is specific, like I'm giving you examples, and they all happen the way the Prophet ﷺ said that they will happen. Yeah, and if you want more, I'm happy to give you more. I mean, it's a very easy thing to do.